Tropical Storm Yagi, a major threat to China, on tonight's Tropical Weather Bulletin. Tropical Weather Bulletin for September 2nd. On the map of world tropics, we have Tropical Storm Yagi, which is currently over the Philippines, and the remnants of Hone in the Western Pacific. Here is the Western Pacific. There's Yagi. It might be slightly east of the Philippines, but Hone entered the basin today as an extratropical cyclone. But Yagi is expected to become very powerful. It could potentially peak as a Category 4 near or at its landfall in China. Here is the Atlantic. We have marked two areas of interest, 99L and 90L, with a 50% chance of formation for 99L and a 10% for 90L. On this day was last year in 2023, we had Typhoon Haikui was the main feature. It was peaking with winds of 125 miles per hour and a pressure of 947 millibars, and made landfall in Taiwan early on September 3rd. Elsewhere, we had Saola, which was dying out after reaching its very, very powerful Category 5 peak. The remnants of Adalia, Tropical Storm Gert, which was peaking, and Tropical Storm Katia, which was also peaking. Saola peaked with winds around 180 miles per hour and a pressure of 900 millibars. Here are the names. The next name in the Atlantic is Francine, followed by Gordon. In the Eastern Pacific, it is Ileana, followed by John. And in the Central Pacific, the next name is Iona, followed by Kelly. In the Western Pacific, the next name is Leapy, followed by Darinka. And in the North Indian Ocean, the next name is Dana, followed by Fengal. Here is Yagi on the satellite. I believe the eye is where that little bit of convection is blowing up near the where you would think the eye of the storm would be. Might be a little bit north of that, slightly hard to tell. But it's currently over the Philippines. No, we didn't really give a forecast track. Kind of forgot to put that in there. But we are currently expecting a peak of 130 miles per hour, which is Category 4. This is going to be a very powerful typhoon, likely. At least, I'd say at least Category 3. That's what the JWC is going with, but this has caused some damage in the Philippines so far. It's caused a lot of rainfall. So we will continue to watch this storm. This is a storm we're probably going to watch. We're probably going to cover this. I know we didn't cover Hone that much. We covered Hone in one tropical weather bulletin, but we're sorry. Here we are on the GFS. Okay, but we're already in the Atlantic. I'm dumb. So the GFS the past couple of days has been firing off with a strong Gulf of Mexico storm that's been gradually trending east from Texas to Louisiana and to Alabama. And they've been predicting it for the past couple of days to be fairly strong and down into the 930s. But there's a storm there, forming in the Gulf of Mexico. Looks like it goes into the Eastern Pacific, reforms there, goes up into Mexico, breaks off, becomes tropical again in the Gulf of Mexico. There's another storm out there, way out east. That one peaks as it makes landfall in Louisiana, and then goes south into Florida. That is absolutely wild. The Eastern Pacific is living up to higher expectations than we thought for this year, though. I'll say that. But here is the Eastern Pacific. Yeah, it looks like maybe a little bit of tropical cyclone Genesis off to the west, but that doesn't ultimately become a tropical cyclone. There's that storm I said that's 993 millibar peak. That's probably a mid-range tropical storm, probably around 60 miles per hour. There's that tropical storm that goes in the Gulf of Mexico, breaks off and reforms into another storm in the Gulf of Mexico there. That is a fairly large tropical cyclone forming there. It doesn't get too terribly strong, but that's also at the very end of that run, at 996 millibars. Central Pacific, because there's the remnants of Hone. So GFS has Hone spinning around on itself right there. Is that the Central Pacific? Oh, right. Hone's in the Western Pacific. I'm dumb. Okay, yeah, that's still Hone. But there's Yagi. We're going to focus on Yagi first. So landfall there in the Philippines, moving into the Western Pacific, rapidly strengthening there, strengthening all the way up to 939 millibars, and making what looks like a Category 4 or Category 3 landfall near Hong Kong. And then, let's rewind a little bit. We got two other typhoons here. That first one forms there. That one looks definitely does reach typhoon status there. Looks like maybe a Category 1, maybe a Category 2, but that's a Category 2, maybe a Category 3 behind that. That's definitely a Category 3. Then another typhoon forming behind that. That one getting very strong there. Down to around 950 millibars would be a Category 3. Okay, now it's even stronger. Down to 932 millibars. That would be a getting towards a high-end Category 4. But there's another typhoon here in the South China Sea that makes landfall on Hainan and goes into Vietnam. And then two other storms forming over here, and then a third and a fourth. So that is Yagi, Hone, and what was that? 5 other tropical cyclones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yagi, Hone, and 8 tropical cyclones in 2 weeks. That would be very insane. Let's check the North Indian Ocean because we don't have it marked, but there is the remnants of Asna over here. There right there is the remnants of Asna. So those just kind of go south and die out. Yeah, don't. Yeah, there's not really anything there. Moving on to the satellite imagery. Oh, that's interesting. Because last I checked, Hone was marked as a post-tropical cyclone. No one told me Hone was a subtropical depression. Great. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that and say Hone was a subtropical depression in my next weather bulletin. Anyway, there will probably be one tomorrow because Yagi is still 100% going to be active tomorrow. Let's look at Hone though. We didn't cover Hone on satellite imagery. It looks really, really bad. It's just a mess. It's just a mess of thunderstorms at this point. Like, this was an organized hurricane that was getting towards a high-end Category 1 with a visible eye and almost got to Category 2 status. And now it's just a cluster of thunderstorms, essentially. The highest cloud tops near the center of the storm are like minus 60. Not very good. Yagi is the complete opposite. Yagi had, that might be a resemblance of an eye there with the lower cloud tops, but those cloud tops there spike around there. That's probably into the minus 100 range. Convection has definitely taken a massive dip after it made, I believe that's a landfall, but convection definitely took a massive dip, and the cloud tops definitely took a massive dip, so it might be weakening. The Philippines typically, if it's just short, small landfalls, they don't really do much of storms. But there is the off chance that they can absolutely ruin storms and make them weaken much more than what's suspended. Goni. But this is probably not going to be that type of case. Let's just look at the remnants of Shanshan, because why not? I mean, they're just there. So we didn't really cover it for a while because I had a lot of stuff going on, but basically, Shanshan got to a Category 4 and then made landfall in Japan as a Category 2, and then went across Japan, making 5 landfalls, going back out over water, and then making another landfall as a tropical depression. And this is what's left of it now. It's moving off towards the north. And I don't know how this is still marked as a tropical cyclone, but it is. It barely even has a rotation at this point. The cloud tops, that is the only resemblance of a cloud top there, and that is minus 20 degrees. I don't know how this is still marked as a tropical cyclone, but it is. The IMD is still considering this a tropical storm. We do not consider this tropical whatsoever. Like, yes, it has a rotation, but like at this point, it is just dead, gone. But that's it for tonight's tropical weather bulletin. We will 100% probably be back with one again tomorrow night. We might have Daniel on that one. I don't know, but Yagi's gonna be stronger, so there will be one tomorrow. Anyway, like, subscribe.